Here is your wrestling headlines. Solo Sikoa kicks Paul Heyman out of the Bloodline. Vince McMahon forced Samantha Irvin to tone it down. Fans urge Ric Flair to focus more on his health and leave restaurant fights. Vince McMahon's script for racism storyline leaked. Ronda Rousey is jealous of Roman Reigns and the Bloodline's popularity, and more. Let's dive right in. Vince McMahon forced Samantha Irvin to tone it down. The journey of the WWE ring announcer Samantha Irvin has been marked by a significant evolution, beginning in NXT, where she honed her skills before making her huge impact on the main roster. Her continuous growth, combined with her supreme talent, has been evident, earning her admiration from fans and peers alike. Ricochet's fiancé reached a poignant moment at WrestleMania 40 as Cody Rhodes clinched a historic victory over Roman Reigns to become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. As soon as that happened, Irvin's heartfelt announcement reflected the emotional magnitude of the moment, underscoring her passion for the sport. Despite her immense and distinctive talent, Samantha Irvin had her fair share of detractors, but one of them has apparently turned into her fan, that being wrestling veteran Jim Cornette. On the recent episode of his The Jim Cornette Experience podcast, Jim stated that he has now become a fan of Samantha and fired shots at the old WWE regime, asking her to tone down her style, which was the prime reason she thrived under the new era as one of the prime figures on WWE television programming. I'm a Samantha Irvin fan now. The inflections, the facials, she's doing a good job. I wanted to praise her there. They, the old WWE regime, were crazy if they were trying to tell her tone it down, because she comes off doing this more like the Bruce Buffer type of introduction. Furthermore, Samantha Irvin's enduring popularity remains unwavering, being a testament to her unwavering dedication and talent. She continues to pursue her passion with fervor and remains a beloved figure in the WWE universe. What are your thoughts on Samantha Irvin's distinctive style as a WWE ring announcer? Nia Jax threatens to stop speaking with a WWE star backstage. Nia Jax has taken to social media to say that she will stop speaking to a WWE name backstage. This came after the person was featured in a video that Jax found rather hard to watch. Megan Morant was part of a video recently where, with the rest of the This Week in WWE crew, she was doing the yeet made popular by Jey Uso. They made the move while Scott Stanford welcomed fans into the studio to speak about Jey and everything else that had happened that week in WWE. Jax moved to WWE Raw recently in the WWE draft and immediately made her presence felt, attacking Bayley. Her goal at this time looks obvious, as she will likely go after Bayley's title. However, this week's episode of SmackDown should make what Jax wants clearer. Given the obvious support from Nick Aldis, she might have decided to take over the division. Nia Jax saw the video by Morant and Stanford and said that it was too difficult for her to watch. The female star has not been impressed by the yeet movement led by Jey Uso, and she continued by saying that if Morant acted like she would stop talking to her. This is hard to watch. Megan Morant WWU. I might stop talking to you again. Fans urge Ric Flair to focus more on his health and leave restaurant fights. Ric Flair is credited to be one of the greatest in-ring performers of all time, known for his amazing in-ring acumen, flamboyance, shining outfits, and being the man around the wrestling landscape with countless titles and accolades. However, the Nature Boy has passed his prime way back and is currently in the later part of his life. Yet, he is still attempting to live his best life with a lot of alcohol consumption, wrestling at the age of 70 plus, where he suffered heart attack during his final match, and even coming to the point of almost not making it past his treatment a few years ago. Moreover, Ric Flair's reckless attitude towards life and people even led to a heated argument with a restaurant owner in recent memory, leading to the 16-time world champion being kicked out from the premises, for which he got upset as well. Recently, Flair took to his X to post a throwback video compilation where firstly he is seen walking with the support of a walker in a hospital and later transitioning into entering in a wrestling arena with much energy and enthusiasm as only Ric Flair can. Throwback Thursday. Lucky to still be that stylin' and profilin'. Limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheelin' and dealin' son of a gun. Whoa! This led to a lot of his fans showing concern and requesting him to reduce his alcohol consumption, live a much healthier life, and put more focus on the same rather than pretending to still be in his prime. While Ric Flair continues to live life to the fullest, it is yet to be seen if he puts serious thought into his well-wishers' concerns. Vince McMahon's script for racism storyline leaked. WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long recently disclosed details about Vince McMahon's involvement in his racism storyline. On January 5, 2004, Long claimed in a Raw promo that every white man from New York to Memphis was racist. WWE commentator Jerry Lawler then stood up from the announce desk and defended his beloved Memphis. In response, the villainous Long declared himself the new king of Memphis and told Lawler to bow down. The latest episode of Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Time Machine featured a conversation about Lawler's WWE contract status. Long also told reporter Bill Apter and host Mac Davis that Vince McMahon was responsible for his memorable Raw segment. That thing, all I talked about was how the white men kept me down and he held me back. So we got ready to go to Memphis, and so I had this promo that Vince had wrote, and then I read it at first, so I just started laughing. I went on out, and I started that promo, and I looked over at Jerry Lawler and I said to him, "Yeah, I know all these people here in Memphis. They look up to you. They think you're a king. But to me, Jerry Lawler, you're just another cracker with a crown." Controversial former superstar set for a huge title match. A former WWE star will be competing in a major title match soon. This star was released from the Stamford-based promotion last year. Matt Riddle was one of the most promising stars in the promotion. Right from the start of his career in NXT, he showed much promise. His MMA background added to his allure. He quickly won the NXT Tag Team Championship with Pete Dunne. After delivering several impressive performances, he was called up to the main roster, where it didn't take long for him to win the United States Championship. During his time on the main roster, Matt Riddle formed a tag team with Randy Orton called the RK Bro. Together, they won the Raw Tag Team Championship twice. While thriving in the ring, Riddle's personal life took a hit. He was suspended for breaching WWE's wellness policy twice and was even suspended for 60 days. He had also claimed on social media that he was sexually assaulted in an airport. Shortly after this controversial claim, he announced his departure from the company. Matt Riddle has since competed in the Indies and wrestled for several promotions. House of Glory Wrestling announced on social media that the King of Bros will be competing for the Hog Heavyweight Championship against Santana. Breaking Friday, May 24th, Hog Heavyweight Champion Artur Santana proud faces his biggest challenge to date. Former WWE US and Tag Team Champion Jar Super King of Bros at TAS, The War Within. Sami Zayn scared upcoming event could go very badly for him. Sami Zayn feels that an upcoming event could go badly for him. This show is taking place outside WWE. After floundering on the roster for the past few months, Sami Zayn suddenly found himself in an Intercontinental Championship match against Gunther. To everyone's surprise, he defeated the Ring General to end his historic reign. After winning the Intercontinental Championship, Sami's plate has become full, as he already has Chad Gable and Bronson Reed gunning for his title. Recently, the WWE superstar took to social media to announce that he will be part of Netflix Is a Joke Fest on May 11th. He also mentioned that this event could go very badly for him. This is only a few days away now. I think it's going to go very, very well, but there's definitely room for it to go very, very badly too. That's the Sami Zayn way. Really excited, he wrote. Chad Gable was instrumental in Zayn winning the Intercontinental Championship by training him. Thus, after becoming champion, he offered a title shot to Gable, who came up short again. This led Gable to viciously assault Sami in front of his wife. Sami will defend his title in a triple threat match at WWE King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia later this month. Gable recently took to social media to vow to punish the Intercontinental Champion. Your never-ending sneak attacks. Your incessant need for validation. You just couldn't let sleeping dogs lie. You earned the punishment that's coming your way, Sami. And through suffering, I've earned the right to bestow it upon you. I've never been so giddy, he wrote. Ronda Rousey is jealous of Roman Reigns and the Bloodline's popularity. A female star wasn't happy with WWE cutting down her segment on TV and giving more screen time to the Bloodline. The star in question is Ronda Rousey. The baddest woman on the planet isn't with WWE anymore. She left the company after her MMA rules match against Shayna Baszler at SummerSlam 2023. In her autobiography, Ronda Rousey revealed that she once got annoyed when WWE booked 2 segments involving the Bloodline and Seth Rollins. Due to the booking, her segment with Shayna Baszler had to be cut down. Earlier this year, Ronda Rousey spoke with Rick Ucchino and expressed her views on Roman Reigns' faction. She wasn't thrilled with the stable being allowed to plan segments in advance, while she wasn't. The Bloodline is able to plan things out a year ahead of time, and they won't even talk to me until I get to the arena. About anything, Rousey said. I proved in my first match that if you give me the time, the resources and preparation, I can put together an amazing match. And I feel like they're really doing that with Logan Paul and allowing him to rehearse and put these things together and have all these different resources, producers, to bring him to his highest potential. And it got to the point where the girls weren't gonna get any of that, she said. Rousey's first WWE match saw her team up with wrestling veteran Kurt Angle. The duo took on Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in a mixed tag team match. The bout turned out to be the best match of the night, and all 4 competitors were heavily praised by the WWE Universe. Kevin Owens' hatred for the Bloodline. A top WWE superstar has made it clear that he has little respect for the new version of the Bloodline, which is led by Solo Sikoa. The person in question is Kevin Owens, who's been at loggerheads with the stable for a long time now. Following the events of WrestleMania 40, where Roman Reigns lost his undisputed WWE title and then vanished from TV, Sikoa stepped up his game. Not only did he kick out Jimmy Uso from the Bloodline, but introduced the brother duo of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa as the stable's newest additions. Appearing on the latest episode of The Bump, Owens fired shots at the Bloodline, saying he had little respect for Solo Sikoa and the other new members of the stable. However, KO clarified that he had tons of respect for Roman Reigns and the Usos, as they have proven themselves as big names in the business. "It's a bootleg bloodline," Owens said. "No matter what's happened between me and Roman Reigns and the Usos and everything, I have an incredible amount of respect for those guys because they've been on the road. They've done everything we've done. I've been all over the world with them. Tama Tonga, I don't know him," he continued. "I know he's been wrestling for a long time, but I have no idea. Up until he showed up a few weeks ago, I never met the guy. I've never been around him. You come in the way they did. Just a real coward's way, you know? I don't really know what Solo's deal is. Solo, he's been around for a few years. He's nothing like the Usos, nothing like Roman. I don't respect this bloodline." Sikoa and Tonga took on Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at WWE Backlash France in a street fight, where the former duo came on top. They were helped by a debuting Tonga Loa to secure the win that left the Lion fans disappointed. Solo Sikoa kicks out Paul Heyman from the Bloodline. WWE personality Sam Roberts addressed the possibility of Solo Sikoa kicking out Paul Heyman from the Bloodline. After seemingly taking over the Bloodline following Roman Reigns going on hiatus after his loss to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania XL, Solo Sikoa kicked Jimmy Uso out. Meanwhile, he added 2 new members, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, to the group. On his Not Some Wrestling podcast, Roberts answered a fan's question about Haku potentially replacing Heyman as Sikoa's new Wiseman. Although the WWE personality does not see that happening, he claimed the Enforcer could kick out the Wiseman ahead of Reigns' comeback. Look, it's not impossible, but Haku cannot do Paul Heyman promos. Paul Heyman is there to do Paul Heyman promos. I mean, eventually he might get thrown out right before Roman comes back, but Haku and Paul Heyman would serve 2 very different roles. Is Solo gonna do all the talking for the Bloodline? I don't know. He went from doing none of the talking to doing all of the talking. That's my only problem, he said.